Hello Internet, my name is Hazel and it is Saturday. It's actually Saturday, which means we're doing vlog time. This week, we have had info coming out of the Legion Alpha. We have had info coming out faster than I can read it. We have had artifact weapon trees, which with like all the artifact abilities on them, and you know there's like what 34 of those, or 36, or there's a lot of different specs in this game, and each one is going to have an artifact weapon. So there's been plenty of abilities from that. I have not had time to read them all. Same goes for pretty much everything else that's been coming out in a torrent. I'm going to pick through all of it individually on a class by class basis as I make these class guide videos. So anything big I'll probably get a hold of then, and of course anything super exciting I imagine I'll hear about on Twitter. I heard about Legion updating the draw distance. Like the default draw, or not the default draw distance, but maybe the potential draw distance of WoW, so that we'll be able to see farther if you have a kickin' computer like I do, which sounds kind of cool. You know, better graphics, good for everybody that can run them, and I'm sure they'll still have the same options that they have now to view the game through a potato world if you are in fact running it on a potato, which I wouldn't judge you for. We all have our own lives, and sometimes a potato computer is what you got, and that's okay. So, that's been happening. The one thing I did go through was the Shadow Priest artifact tree, because I have a special vested interest in Shadow Priest. I am almost positive that that's what I'm going to be raiding on in Legion. There was a tiny chance that I might have switched to a balanced druid for Legion raiding. There was also a tiny chance I was going to heal, but every time I try it, I get really bored. So I'll probably stick with damage. I'll probably stick with range damage. And I might have tried Bimkin because the artifact weapon, the Scythe of Elune, looks really cool, but I'm pretty sure at this point that I'm sold on Shadow Priest. Void Torrent, I think, is the thing that I read about for Shadow Priest and the artifact weapon that really excited me. It's one of the first, it's like the first trait ability that you get, like the active ability. And basically what it is you can use it while in void form. It's a 4-second channel. You hold your dagger in the sky, so you like stare at your target and then hold your dagger in the sky and you like gather void energy to it, and then you like unleash it at like in a channel for 4 seconds or whatever, and while you're doing that you're not losing any insanity, and presumably it does a good amount of damage, and presumably you look metal as hell. So I can't wait for that. I'm actually getting really excited about the Shadow Priest artifact weapon. I know it's not a staff and it's just a little dagger, but it's not just a little dagger, it's Xalatath, Blade of the Black Empire, and I really want to have Xalatath, Blade of the Black Empire. I want that to be mine. So, that sounds pretty cool. They're also adding old vanity items to the toy box. They're adding more stuff, basically, that should have been added for the first time, but, you know, better late than never. I am always excited about more things becoming account bound. That never fails to excite me, especially because I have this huge backlog of characters. Like, I switch servers and start my WoW life over again, or at least in the past. For the first, 5 years or whatever I played WoW, I probably switched servers once a year and started over again because, you know, I'd make a group of friends and I'd play with them. And then I'd level a bunch of characters in the server, and then it would fall apart for one reason or another. Like, the guild would fall apart, or there'd be, drama, or people would just quit. And I would start again on a new server and make new friends. And I did this, 3 or 4 times. So I have characters that were max level at the time, scattered across a variety of servers, and they all have different stuff on them, and it's nice knowing that I haven't been keeping those for nothing. Like, every time they add new stuff that's account bound, I can log into all of them and get random things that I forgot that I had, and those will become account bound. So that's really exciting for me. I'm even more excited for the transmog thing for that reason, because I don't even know how much stuff I have between, the billions of characters that I've leveled. I'm exaggerating because I don't know the exact number, but I've leveled a lot of characters. And I want to see what I get, and then of course I'm going to want to finish it all. I wonder how much effort it's going to be to get a completed, or at least as close to as humanly possible, completed completed transmog tab. I wonder if it's going to show you what I think it might show you what you're missing. Like, there might be an option to look through models that you don't have and see where to get them. I feel like I read about that being a thing. Oh my god, that's going to eat up so much of my time. I can't wait though. So, lots of new info coming out. If you are interested in keeping up on that and you want a better source than me, which I do recommend, Wowhead and MMO Champion are both super up-to-date on everything that can possibly be, ringed, squeezed, squung. Anything that you could get at a Legion Alpha can be found on both of those websites. They're both great, so I recommend that. My next video that I'm working on, just to kind of keep you guys in the loop. The next class change video that I'm working on is for Resto Druids. I want to get videos done for as many specs as I can. I don't know if I'll be able to do all of them. Last time when it was the Warlords beta, I probably did like 4 or 5. I want to do more than that this time around. There's plenty of time between now and Legion, but these take a lot of time to put together. Surprising amount of time to put together. So I'm going to work through them in order of familiarity. So I started with Shadowpriest because that's what I raid on. I spend the second most amount of time on Resto Druid, and I'm just going to kind of work through all the different specs in order of things of what I'm already familiar with to make it a little easier to put them together. I will, of course, eventually get to stuff I know nothing about and just have to do a bit more research, which is fine. But next on the list is Resto Druid. I want to get that out on Monday, but I've got a lot of stuff going on this weekend, so I'm gonna vague that to like sometime next week. For the Resto Druid class preview, and then I'm just going to keep working on those until either I do them all, or Legion comes out, or I drop dead. One of those things will happen first. Yeah, so that's that. The GCD TV Pro League tournament is going on this week, and it's actually happening right now. I'm missing it. I'm going to have to catch the VODs. I've been staying off of Twitter so that I don't get spoiled on what's happening, because I want to watch those VODs, because those tournaments are so exciting. They've got some really good teams. Like, a bunch of the teams that were at BlizzCon are playing in this Pro League tournament, and it's really cool to see esports events happening for WoW more often than just every year at BlizzCon, because as it is, it's not a very sustainable thing for like a professional esports athlete or whatever to get into, because, you know, you get, if you're really, really good, you get paid once a year when you place at BlizzCon, and that's it. So having more tournaments means that more people might invest time into it, which means there's better talent, which means there's more personalities, more stuff to watch, more tournaments to watch. Better for everybody that's interested in WoW esports. So that's really great to see happening. And I'm going to have to catch up on those VODs sometime. I don't know when, because I've got plans tonight. Maybe tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Sunday? What am I doing tomorrow? I'm watching some esports VODs tomorrow, so that's happening. What about in, what's going on with me in my life? So my day today, I spent like 3 hours, 3.5 hours, 2.5 hours, 4 hours, a long ass time in a cell phone carrier store today, because my husband and I, we were looking at ways to save money month to month, because we're scraping by a little bit right now. It's a little bit tight for us, and we're scraping by. And we're looking for ways to cut down our bills. And it turned out if we switched cell phone companies from company A to company B, we would save like a bunch of money on our bill. And part of that deal ended up being us getting new phones. And so we went to the store today, and we finally got that all sorted out. It was really complicated for reasons I won't get into. So we were there for a long ass time. I brought my 3DS, and I was just like playing Animal Crossing in the store. I don't know if I got any weird looks. I was too busy like, you know, fetching pears for penguins. And what else did I do? Oh yeah, my hippo. Bertha the hippo lost a mitten, and I was like, hey Bertha. Well, I didn't know it was her mitten at first because it was lost, but I reunited her with her mitten, don't worry. And so yeah, I was playing Animal Crossing in the carrier store, waiting for that to get done, and eventually it did get sorted out. And I have a new phone. So I've always been an Apple person, or not always, but most recently, my last phone was an Apple phone. I love it to death. I've always been very happy with my Apple stuff. I wouldn't say I'm a fanatical fan person, but I'm getting there. I'm up there. I don't judge anybody for having Android or Windows or whatever works for you, so long as you have the best device for you. These devices are definitely the best device for me, and I've had this is the 6S, this is the new one. It's not the Plus or anything, it's the regular 6S, and it's freaking awesome. I love it. I've had it for what, like 4 hours? And it's like my favorite thing ever. And maybe that's just new phone syndrome, but it's so, I had a 5S before, so this is like bigger screen, it's like way faster. And I was really shocked with how pleasant it was to set it up with all my stuff, because I did an iCloud backup, and I was just like, hey, would you just restore from that? And it's like, okay, here's all of your stuff. So that's all set up, and I'm just kind of happy about it. I can play Hearthstone on my phone now. My old phone didn't run it very well, and my iPad definitely doesn't run it very well. My iPad's old as hell. So it'll be neat having a little mobile device to play Hearthstone on, so I can just like hang out in bed or like on the couch and play Hearthstone. And then people message me being like, can you do threes? And I'll be like, I'm not even at my computer. I gotta finish my daily or whatever, you know. So that's kind of fun. What else? Last night. So, story time. Last night, I was feeling kind of sick. I had like a sinus headache. I was in a bad mood. And I wasn't about to stream because I was like a really bad headache and I was just super cranky. And I didn't really want to do any more WoW. We had just pugged Heroic Hellfire Citadel, and I was done with other people, and I basically wanted to play a single player game for a little bit, and I was like, you know what, I really want to play some Dark Souls or Bloodborne or something, one of those games. And Bloodborne's on our PS4, which is currently set up on my husband's desk, and I didn't really want to move it. So I was like, alright, fine, I'll play Dark Souls 2. So I go to load up Dark Souls 2, and it wants me to log into Steam, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I look up my Steam password, and I log in, it's like, no, That's not your password. And I'm like, all right, fine. So I go to recover my Steam password, and it's like, okay, we'll send an email to your recovery email address at blank, 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 blank. And I'm like, that's never been my email. So it turns out my Steam account got hacked. I'm not sure exactly when it got hacked, probably about 4 months ago. Apparently I haven't accessed Steam in a while. And I made a ticket with Steam support, and I was really, really freaking impressed, because I've heard stories about Steam support before. And the things I've heard about Steam support is it's going to take like a week for them to get back to you. They're really not helpful, and it's just a bad idea. Hang on, the cat's scratching again. Let's get her in here. She doesn't actually want to come in here. She just doesn't like closed doors. So yeah, so I emailed Steam support, and they got back to me in like 8 minutes. Like a person who helped me out really, like in under 20 minutes from the time that I created the ticket. I had completely recovered my account, and then I just went and reset my password. Now that I have a new phone, I've set up 2-factor authentication for Steam, and I threw it on my Google account for good measure, and pretty much anything else that allows me to have a mobile authenticator I now have set up, and I've changed all of my passwords, and done virus scans in the whole 9 yards. So yeah, I got my Steam account back, and when I got it back, I had a whole bunch of new Russian friends. I had 270 hours on Dota 2 that I've never played before. And I had a whole bunch of anime visual novel games, including a couple of pornographic ones and a couple of dating sims, which is a little bit strange. But there was no weird activity on my credit card, which was nice. So it was just somebody stole my account and played a buttload of Dota. Somebody asked me on Twitter if they had gotten me any good Dota items. I have no idea how to tell. But I went through and I removed all my new Russian friends, and hopefully my account stays secure this time. And this is my Hazelnutty public service announcement. If you don't have Steam Guard set up, I recommend doing it. You can do it just an email. You don't have to have the mobile app, but the mobile app's the most secure way to do it. And also, change your passwords once in a while, and don't use the same one for all your different crap. I know it's hard to remember your passwords when you have different ones for everything. My system is I actually physically write them down in a safe place, because that's the only thing that I know can't get hacked, or at least it can't yet. And that way I can have a different password for every single account that's like not super easy to guess, because it like you might think that nobody could possibly want to hack me. I'm really boring. I don't have anything valuable in this account. There's no reason for me to not use the same password I use for everything, because I'm a sucker at remembering stuff. You might think that's you. And I know it sucks having different passwords, but it is even worse the day that somebody steals your shit and gets into your other shit. Like, that's a shitty day. You don't want to go there. So please protect your accounts. Change your passwords once in a while. And be safe online. Be smart online. I actually lucked out, because I ended up not losing any money and getting a bunch of free anime games. But it could have been a lot worse. So yeah, change your passwords. What else is going on? November's almost over. We're only like 2 or 3 days away from December. There was definitely some Christmas music going on in the store when I was out today. I want to decorate my apartment with Christmas stuff, but I don't actually have any Christmas stuff. And like I mentioned, we're real tight on cash right now. So I'm probably just going to leave it because we're in super money saving mode. I kind of wanted to get like a little tree. Like I could on Amazon right now for like $10, which is doable, get like a little Christmas tree. Like a 2-foot one or like a 1-foot one, and then set that up. And I think that would be really cute, but I think my cat would kill it. I think that anything remotely dangly would be just like too much for my cat. She can't even handle my hair. She can't handle the fact that if I wear my hair down in any given day, I will have a cat jump on my head. And she's very gentle about it. She's never hurt me, but it's still terrifying. So, I don't know if she can handle a tree. What do you think? I want to pick her up and bring her here, and she knows that, and she's just piecing out every time I like go to get her, so. Oh, man, now that I have my Steam account back, I have been, like, itching to boot up some Don't Starve or play a little more Dark Souls 2, because I did actually play a bit after I got my account recovered last night, and I discovered that I don't completely suck. I was convinced that after, like, 6 months of not playing Dark Souls, that my skills would be just, like, vanished, but I actually managed to, I took off all my armor, and I two-handed my little basic shitty starter sword, and I managed to beat the little hippo in the starting area, which isn't going to mean anything unless you play Dark Souls 2, but I was happy. I was proud of myself. I'm not completely shit at that game, even though I've taken a big break, so that's kind of promising. So yeah, I want to play some more of those games, and I want to make some videos of games that aren't WoW, but I want to get through more of the Legion stuff first. So I'm going to go through and tell you guys a little bit about the ideas I have for videos that are on my radar. None of these have guaranteed dates yet, and if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that my soon is quite similar to Blizzard's soon, and it could be any time from in the next month to like within the next 5 years when these things come out. But I want to let you guys know what's on my radar. So I want to do eventually a weekly series of one video a week that is not WoW. It doesn't have to be the same thing week to week. I could do like individual Let's Play looks at games. I could do little bits of Dark Souls. I could do like a Hearthstone video or two. I definitely want to do more Don't Starve and stuff like that. I want to do that once a week. But again, that's on the back burner until we get through more of this Legion stuff. But that's on my radar. I also want to do something, I haven't named it yet, but I'm kind of thinking something along the lines of Skirmish Heroes. And what I want that to be is I want to cast like skirmishes or really low rated arenas, like sub 1200 rated arenas, because the funniest shit happens in skirms and really low rated arenas, and I think it would be really fun to like cast those and then put those matches on as videos. Those would be like nice short little funny videos that wouldn't be too hard to make. So I want to do like Skirmish Heroes. I want to do product and software reviews. I talked about this on stream. I don't remember if I talked about it in the vlog, but I love reviewing stuff. I have this weird love of talking about all of my feelings and opinions and experiences with a thing. It's really fun for me. So I want to basically get into a series where I review all of my shit, like anything that I've used that I have good experience with, like my peripherals, you know, my mouse, my keyboard, my mouse pad, my gamepad, my headset, you know, my phone, tablet, camera, monitors, lights, green screen, all that shit. I want to make reviews for all of it, and that'd be kind of like a neat weekly series. Same thing goes for software. All the software that I use with maybe like really basic guides for, because I get a lot of people asking me, you know, Hazel, I want to get into making videos. What do I need to get me started? So I think that would be a neat video to make too, you know, like these pieces, like shopping list of free software that you want to get yourself started with if you want to start making videos, that kind of thing. I want to do an office tour, and I've actually sorted out the camera issue. I just need to clean up my office and do it. So I want to do an office tour video that I kind of show you guys all the crap in my office and what it looks like when there's not Dun Moreau behind me. I want to do cooking and makeup videos. Those would be on a different channel, so if you're not interested in stuff that's not gaming related, you wouldn't see it on this channel. It'll be on a different one. I want to do UI vids because people ask me about my user interface all the time, so I want to do as like one for my Healing Arena UI, which is quite different from my my Shadow Priest rating UI. I want to do one of those for each of them. I'd like to do a key binding video for my PvP keybinds, because people ask me that a lot too, my targeting keybind specifically. So I want to go over that. I want to do Trade Skill Master and gold making videos. I'm still working on the Warrior BG videos, the Baby Warrior Battleground stuff. I've made it up to level 69. Those might slow down because leveling takes a solid chunk of time, and I'm still, like I've said, I've got a lot on my plate right now, so those might not come out every week, but I will eventually finish them. And of course, I've got a lot more Legion preview videos to do. Another thing on this short list would be community member spotlights one day. It might be neat to kind of go over streamers that I watch, Twitter people that I follow, any YouTubers that I keep up on, and just kind of like do a little profile, a little spotlight of other people that you might also like if you are into staying connected in like the WoW social media world. I want to do plant related videos. That would be on the other channel too, but I'm like really obsessed with my succulent plants, and I could talk about those all day, so I might do some of those. And like I said, anything not strictly game related or tangentially. Is that a word? Is that how you say it? Tangentially? Like a tangent. Anyways, anything that's not related to gaming would be on a different channel, so don't worry about that. Yeah, so those are all the things on my radar. The only thing that I'm going to guarantee is going to come out within the next week is obviously we're going to keep to the vlogs every week. I want to get these Legion videos done first, so those are going to be earlier up and probably about one every week. And then Baby Warrior Battlegrounds will come out as often as I can. But all of those other things that I just talked about are on the radar. So within the next, 10 years. So that has been my week. If you have any questions you would like answered in a vlog, just leave them as a comment on the most recent vlog. And let me know what you think, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.